I consider this program a major milestone in our drive to build resilient cities and urban areas with enhanced quality of life for current and future generations. Secondly, let me take this early opportunity to sincerely thank you, Your Excellency, the President, for your leadership and resolve towards demand-driven programs which offer the opportunity to pursue long-term development strategies and interventions tailored to the specific needs of our residents, and especially those at the bottom of the pyramid. This paradigm shift has the potential to transform Kenya's economic development trajectory significantly. The second Kenya Urban Support Program, KUSP2, builds on the foundation set by Phase 1, KUSP1, which was rated as satisfactorily implemented by the World Bank. The first phase saw massive investments in urban infrastructure and services within the 59 benefiting municipalities in the 45 benefiting counties, which included 202 kilometers of roads improved, 171 kilometers of non-motorized transport, 192 kilometers of stormwater drainage, 31 kilometers of sewer line, 12 fire stations, 12 recreational facilities, and 16 retail markets, benefiting over 20,000 traders and creating over 200,000 jobs, amongst others. County governments have been able to establish more municipalities. Today, we have 107 chartered municipalities. I also wish to let you know that during this program period, Nakuru municipality was elevated to city status, and Eldoret and Thika municipalities are currently in the process of being conferred the city status. Your Excellency, allow me to sincerely thank the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development for truly embracing Article 6.2 of the Constitution of Kenya, which calls for consultation and cooperation between the two levels of government during the design program. The Council was particularly impressed with the participation of county governments through the Lands and Housing and Urban Development Committee led by His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. The numerous meetings held between the committee and the program design team was a clear testimony of inclusive participation and collaboration. The launch today marks commencement of the implementation phase of the program. I would like to underscore that county governments and their urban institutions are committed to full implementation of the program. This will be guided by numerous lessons learned in KUSP1. Your Excellency, urban residents are the most affected by climate change due to poor planning, housing, and lack of basic infrastructure, which is resilient to the climate shocks. Programs like the Affordable Housing Program and the Kenya Urban Support Program will help address these challenges. We look forward to collaborating with the Affordable Housing Board to transform our urban areas.
Many times the urban poor are neglected. If you look at interventions that have been there, for instance, the resilience and just securing livelihoods for our people in the lower areas, food support, hunger. Attention is given to the arid areas, attention is given to the rural areas, but urban poverty many times, and Senator Governor Kihika and Governor Nyong'o, you know what I'm talking about, that those in informal settlements many times suffer much, much more. We say Nairobi ni shamba ya mawe. If you don't have resources, you'll have nowhere to stay, you'll have nothing to eat. There's more community in the rural areas. So we really want to ask that you support, and we can come up with a new program for the cities. If you look at some of the things that Mombasa has to grapple with, and Kisumu has to grapple with, and Nairobi, for instance, street lighting. You know, street lighting, the bill is on the county, but if we switch off the lights, it's a national security problem. Should that be a bill that is left to the formula of devolution, or should there be specific support to these cities for functions such as those? The Urban Areas and Cities Act envisions or envisages special financing for the capital and special financing for such interventions. My colleague governors, I want to encourage you as you move to municipalities and as you create these new urban areas to also know that it comes with certain challenges. Number one, you will lose a lot of what you call political homogeneity when you create municipalities and cities. The people who come there might not be of the same political strand, and that is why you have to do a lot of balancing, as we have to do in the city. Number two, as you create those centers, and I'll give an example. In Kakamega, I don't know if the governor of Kakamega is here. Around Sigalagala, because of the technical training and the university there, it has become almost a new city. There is pressure on housing. Sigalagala is just on your left as you go towards Kakamega from Bungoma. It has become an entire, almost a metropolis with people from different parts of the country and a huge strain on our resources. So we hope, in long and short, that you can help us just look at the economic issues that we need support on. In Nairobi, we're undertaking a planning process of Vision 2050 to look at, yes, we know that there will be 10.5 million people then. What do we need to do today?
Today, Your Excellency, marks a pivotal moment in our journey towards building vibrant, sustainable, and inclusive cities. As we gather here for the launch of the second Kenya Urban Support Program, we embark on a mission that holds the promise of transforming not just the physical landscape of our cities and urban areas, but also the lives of millions of people who call these cities their home. For example, Your Excellency, the majority of our people walk to work or to play in our cities. They need safe walking ways that we call non-motorized transport, or NMT. Urbanization, Your Excellency, one of the defining trends of our time. Cities are not just centers of economic activity. They are crucibles of innovation, hubs of culture, and engines of progress. Yet, with rapid urban growth comes a host of challenges, from congestion and pollution to inadequate infrastructure and social inequality. The task before us is clear, Your Excellency. We must embrace the opportunities presented by urbanization while addressing its associated complexities. The program we're launching today is built on the principles of sustainability, resilience, and equity. The development objective is to strengthen the capacities of urban institutions to do the following, Your Excellency. 1, improve the delivery and resilience of urban infrastructure and services. 2, enhance the private sector engagement in urban planning. And 3, support the transition of refugee camps into integrated host community refugee settlements, especially, Your Excellency, in areas which are prone to natural disasters.